Democrats and the media are now unloading all their nasty attacks on rising Trump White House star and new press secretary, Karoline Leavitt.
Karoline Leavitt might be one of the most surprising names to shake up daytime TV in a long time. The newly minted White House press secretary is young, confident, and not afraid to go toe-to-toe with her critics. But it's the magnitude of her latest clash that has everyone talking. In a move that caught the entire media world off guard, Karoline is taking aim at The View, triggering a colossal legal battle that could eclipse anything the show has faced before. Critics say it might even be the final straw that brings the long-running program crashing down. Enter The View, a daytime talk show famous for hot takes and fiery debates. This time, however, the co-hosts seemed to level an especially personal series of digs. They insinuated Karoline's achievements.
Listen, if you don't have anything to say, you blab. You just go on and 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 on.
Went into her meteoric rise. Viewers who support Karoline were furious. How, they asked, could a show claiming to champion women degrade someone simply for having a different point of view? Accusations of hypocrisy spread like wildfire on social media, with many saying The View had crossed a line it couldn't uncross. But what really ramped up the drama was Karoline's response. Rather than issue a few pointed tweets or make the rounds on cable news, she went straight for an $800 million lawsuit that has ABC executives in a tailspin. Legal experts suggest such a massive sum could be more than just a scare. Tacticate signals she's serious about exposing what she calls defamation, malicious slander, and a calculated attempt to tank her reputation. Suddenly, the usual chatter of daytime TV turned into a high-stakes legal fiasco, and for The View, this wasn't just a public scolding. It was an existential threat.
Most divisive and disgusting speech that any president, certainly in my lifetime, has ever given. He essentially waged war on half of the country by saying that we are all a threat to democracy because we believe in putting America first. It's not radical to want to put your country and your own people first. It's not radical to want to have a strong border, a strong military, and to unleash the might of your own economy, not economies around the world. We have seen cultural Marxism trickling its way through every institution in this country. The public school system, the higher education university system, Hollywood, big tech, the corrupt mainstream media that I fought against in President Trump's White House are indoctrinating my generation of Americans into hating our country, hating one another based on race and gender and sex and all of this other BS, quite frankly.
Inside ABC, the panic reportedly spiked. Advertisers already wary of controversy began questioning their loyalty to a show repeatedly embroiled in scandals. The View may still draw in viewers, but with rising tensions and a legal brawl that could drag on for months or even years, sponsors don't want their brands caught in the crossfire. The looming question is whether ABC will decide that enough is enough and cut its losses, especially if the lawsuit drags down ratings. Money talks, and in this case, it might be telling network executives to run in the opposite direction. Asterisk behind the scenes. The talk is that Joy Behar, Whoopi Goldberg, and Sunny Hostin are more anxious than ever before. While they've weathered backlash in the past, this time there's not just a reputation at stake, there's personal liability. Depending on how the legal chips fall, each host could face the prospect of ponying up hefty damages if found individually responsible for any defamatory statements. Insiders claim they're scrambling to get legal advice, hoping to avoid an extended court battle that might wreak havoc on their bank accounts. It's quite the reversal. The outspoken personalities who once reveled in controversy now seem desperate to make it all disappear. Asterisk, the most striking element here is Karoline's motivation. She's not just defending herself, she's openly challenging a media culture that often undermines conservative voices. Many supporters believe this lawsuit could become a milestone, reminding talk shows that they can't hurl accusations without accountability. If she succeeds, it might force shows like The View to rethink how they address polarizing figures. Critics of mainstream media say it's overdue. They've long accused programs of favoring narratives and silencing dissent. Karoline's legal battle, in their eyes, is a long-awaited showdown.
Yeah, I would like this young lady this is her first job, I would like her to do a little homework. Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you, because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
Yeah.
Because women were not invited to that table. Mm-hmm. Women were not invited to many tables in this nation. The reason we fought and busted our behinds to make sure that you didn't have to worry about this. And now to hear you talk about it and to hear anybody talk about the wokeness was put in place for a reason, because black people couldn't get into colleges, because women could not get into the colleges they wanted to go to. This is all women. Yeah. See, this is not black, Asian women. This is all women. Women were not invited to this party. It was a man's world, and we busted our asses to make sure that this was a person's world.
Of course, there's always the chance this never reaches a courtroom. Settlements happen all the time, particularly when massive sums like $800 million are on the line. Rumor has it, the hosts are quietly lobbying for a private agreement to avoid a drawn-out public ordeal. But given Karoline's reputation for principled stance, a quick settlement might not be her style. She appears intent on forcing a broader discussion about accountability and bias. Meanwhile, ABC could preemptively cut ties with The View if sponsors start pulling ads en masse. In that scenario, the entire show could vanish sooner than anyone ever anticipated. Asterisk, what happens next? Will Karoline's legal action push The View to the brink? Could this be the lawsuit that reshapes the line between free speech and defamation? On daytime TV, for years, The View has skated by, stirring controversy and churning headlines. But this time, it might have met its match in a sharp, unwavering young press secretary who refuses to be silenced. If the show ends up canceled or, if the lawsuit triggers sweeping changes, there's no denying one thing. Karoline has already scored a major victory by compelling a powerful platform to answer for its words. And that, ultimately, is what has everyone from network execs to loyal viewers waiting on the edge of their seats.